You're watching ACC Network Basketball presented by Food Lion. In Raleigh, they can dream on spring after NC State put together a 3-game road win streak. The Wolfpack home to take on Pittsburgh, and for Pitt, now is the winter of their discontent. With Paul Biancardi, I'm Anish Shroff. Pittsburgh has lost 7 of 8, and this past week, in the span of 25 hours, they lost 40% of their scoring. Au'Diese Toney, their number 2 scorer, Xavier Johnson, their starting point guard, and number 3 scorer, both enter the transfer portal. In the short term, Paul, where does that leave Pitt?
With 3 games left in the season, the timing is odd, but there's no time for a pity party. The best way to flush out adversity within the program is to get a win against a hot NC State team on the road. You mentioned it, Anish, 40% of the offense is gone. So for the Panthers, they must focus on their rebounding, defense, and turnover game.
NC State has faced adversity. They lost their leading scorer, Devin Daniels, to a torn ACL last month. It took time to adapt, but they figured out how to play without him. What have they done?
Jericho Helms has really shot the ball well. In the absence of Daniels, their defense has tightened up. They're playing with 2 bigs on a more consistent basis. NC State is playing well. They're hot at the right time.
Pittsburgh rocking the road yellows. NC State in the home whites. Abdul Kareem Coulibaly and Manny Bates to jump center. And Pitt controls the opening tip. It's Femi Odukale at point now without Xavier Johnson. Of course, Pitt still has Justin Champagnie, one of the favorites for ACC Player of the Year, 11 in yellow.
And expect 11 in yellow to get a lot of touches for Pittsburgh.
Champagnie contested shot over Funderburk. Follows his shot. He is the ACC's leader in rebounding. Was leading the conference in scoring up until yesterday. And Coulibaly missed the bunny, the rebound to Helms. Starting lineups for NC State. Cam Hayes, the freshman, coming off his best game in ACC play. 16 points, no turnovers in the big win Wednesday at Virginia.
The game has slowed down for Cam Hayes. As a freshman in any conference, the first time you go through it, it goes a little bit fast, it's a little bit physical. You're trying to figure out what your team's supposed to do, and scouting report defense. Cam Hayes, a very smart player. He has now figured out his role on this team.
You look at the starting lineup for Pitt, the questions: where does the offense come from outside of Champagnie as we get a whistle? Nike Sabandi played his best game as a Panther, the Miami, Ohio transfer, last Saturday against Florida State. Au'Diese Toney did not play in that game because of a concussion. And had Toney been on the team, he would not have played today, likely would not have played the rest of the regular season. This is an opportunity for Sabandi.
No question about it. A battle-tested player from Miami of Ohio. They need the 3-point shot from Horton. And Coulibaly on that first possession right at the rim. You got to finish that.
3-pointer hoisted up, no good by Hayes. And the rebound to Odukale. Up ahead, and there's Nike Sabandi. 1,400 plus points in his career with the Red Hawks. Bates down low, great position.
Just a fantastic possession by NC State. The ability to find the open man rolling to the basket. I was surprised he was so open. You got a tag in the background. That means you got to leave your man and stay on the roller until his man gets back.
Second meeting of the season between these two. NC State won a nail-biter recently in the only other meeting, 74-73. Odukale to the rim, the basket, and the foul. So the freshman getting the start in place of Xavier Johnson with a chance at a 3-point play.
Pitt very aggressive to start this game, both in the offensive transition and the half-court set. They're not settling for threes. They're not a good 3-point shooting team, but they are very aggressive with the drive.
Sabandi guarding Helms. Now Champagnie over to help. Helms through traffic, lays it up off the glass and in.
He's been fantastic in the absence of Daniels. He's taken the most shots in that time span. He's taken 90 shots. Next closest guy has been Funderburk.
Champagnie traveled after the offensive rebound. Jeff Capel was telling us that with Champagnie, he is learning what it's like to be a superstar. This is new to him. He's now the center of attention on every scouting report. And it's not just that he's the first guy in the scouting report. Teams are now game planning for him as well.
Yeah, he's the focal point of the opposition. But what also comes with good play is more media attention, more interviews, social media. You have your critics and you have your praise. You have to do a great job of filtering out the noise as your game gets better.
Averaging a double-double this year.
Yeah, you have to stay humble in your approach.
Hayes sinks the three.
And I don't think we've seen any drop-off by Justin Champagnie. Hard-working guy, great habits. You know, there's a phrase out there, the bigger your head gets, the smaller your game gets. That's not the case with Champagnie.
Ithiel Horton, the Delaware transfer, averages less than 10 a game, but with the exodus of players, he's now Pitt's second leading scorer. Shot clock at 4. Sabandi, long 2, way off. And here comes the Wolfpack.
Great job by the Wolfpack, sitting down, sliding in their stance, making Pitt shoot it over the top.
Bates in the low post against Coulibaly, working the baseline. The reverse layup not there.
He's really improved, Manny Bates, on the offensive end. One of the nation's best shot blockers. But he can score over either shoulder inside, and he has a presence in the paint.
Sabandi, that rims out, and it comes to Helms.
Bates tapped that ball. Couldn't grab it, so he tapped it. And Helms decided to come down and rebound. Good finish by the Wolfpack.
And a foul on the floor.
This team is gelling at the right time.
And Keith's telling us that Funderburk and Helms are picking up the scoring slack. Braxton Beverly, who's in the game, 10 and white with Manny Bates, have filled that leadership void. And Jericho Helms has turned into an able defender on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's been a three-headed monster. Funderburk, Bates, and Helms, all averaging double figures.
7-4, NC State in the early going. It'll be curious to see how Pitt comes out today after all the news this week. Horton left that short.
I like the way Pitt has started the game. They seem very aggressive, very active and alert defensively. Offensively, they've been aggressive with their drive game.
DJ Funderburk, strong move to the rim, taking it right at Pitt.
That's a hard man to stop in the post. Funderburk has terrific footwork. Nice soft touch inside.
He scored in double figures in 6 straight.
That was a nice, slow move to the basket with beautiful touch.
Femi Odekali getting to start at point guard without Xavier Johnson. Inside, Terrell Brown, he lost it. Shot clock at 6, Horton blocked. And we get a foul.
NC State makes it a point of emphasis to get the ball inside. Funderburk catches, faces, locates his man, sees the help. He's got clean feet, Anish. When I say clean feet, it means his footwork is fluid.
Well, he just picked up his second foul, so likely headed to the bench.
And now NC State will play small. Manny Bates will play the 5. Jericho Helms will slide over to the 4 and put Braxton Beverly in the backcourt.
Shaquille Moore, another one of those freshman guards. He and Cam Hayes have picked it up of late. Braxton Beverly for three. Offensive rebound, Darion Sebron. A redshirt freshman at 6'7". He's come along of late as well.
He gives them a versatility on the defensive end. He's long, he's athletic. And offensively, when they get runouts from their turnovers or steals, Sebron is a terrific finisher.
Pittsburgh has missed its last four. Horton using the shot fake, the long two. Back rim, volleyballed back out to Horton. New 20. Inside for Champagnie. Too much on the pass. Beverly pulls up, in and out. Braxton Beverly on load management these days, fighting through a nagging back and hip injury as Champagnie goes in for the easy two.
And nobody stopped the ball from NC State. Pitt pushed that ball all the way up the floor, got to the free throw line. Kevin Keats knows that. We'll address it in the timeout. You got to stop the ball high near the top of the key.
When we talked to Jeff Capel about his two key players leaving, he didn't offer up any additional details. And as a head coach, as Beverly gets fouled, he knows he's in a tough spot. There's only so much you can say, and you are at the mercy in some ways of the optics. And people will write and say all sorts of things based on, again, the optics of this. He said he wished Xavier Johnson and Au'Diese Toney well, and we asked him, what's your message to this fan base? And he says, I don't feel we're starting back at square one. And I think if you're a Pitt fan, that's the worry. You lose two guys from the first recruiting class. You already lost Trey McGowan's. You remember what this program was when Kevin Stallings left it and Jeff Capel inherited it. You saw the hope as well this year. They were 8-2, 4-1 in conference, having just beaten Duke. There's a worry. Are you going back to the beginning? Is this rock bottom again? And again, maybe that's what Jeff Capel has to say, but he was adamant that they're going to use their scholarships to find players, whether it's high school players, they don't have a single high school recruit committed yet, or the transfer portal.
Anytime you have mutually agreed upon decision, that means things have been boiling up for a while. That decision a couple of days ago, big three-point shot. Obviously, there's been problems within the program, and it got to a boiling point, and decisions were made.
How about Nike Sabandi with a chance at a 4-point play?
Sabandi was terrific against Florida State. Came up big. That had to help his confidence coming into the NC State game.
That was his best game as a Panther. He started because Au'Diese Toney actually was out with a concussion, and Toney would not have played today either. Likely would not have played again in the regular season. And Sabandi in 36 minutes, 12.7 rebounds. You know, give Pitt this. Even during this losing streak, it's not like they've been getting blown out of every game. They've been close till about the 5-minute mark of the second half.
And Jeff Capel told us last night, except for the Notre Dame game, they've been in every contest. In the last 5 minutes, they've either been leading or down a possession of two. Just can't finish and close games.
Shaquille Moore misfires, another rebound by Champagnie.
But to your point, Anish, about where Pitt is right now, let's remember where Pitt was. And Jeff Capel built this roster very quickly through recruiting. He'll rebuild it again. It does need a rebuild, but he's already proven the ability to build a roster, player development, and coach a team to wins. They're 3 wins away from being 500 in the ACC. The last time that happened was 2015-16. This
First year in the league.
Yeah, this program is going through some adversity, but they're on solid ground.
Champagnie corrals another rebound. He's got 5 boards. Only 1 of 6 from the field, though. Onebuchi Ezeakuta into the game, the walk-on, number 31. With Johnson's departure, not a lot of point guard depth. Here's William Jeffress, the freshman, blocked. That's Manny Bates, top shot blocker in the ACC.
One of the best shot blockers in the country, Manny Bates. He gets one, gets the second one. We're having a block party in Raleigh.
It's time for Food Lions Food for Thought. How about a champagne for your thoughts?
I'll take that anytime. Check out Justin Champagne on the left block. He moves without the basketball. He has to create space. He catches the ball, doesn't settle for the three-point shot, and that's the big improvement in his game. He catches it, rips it, drive on the baseline, not settling. Against the zone, he screens the top man of the zone. He'll take a short roll into the elbow. Now he has two defenders looking at him. He has the dump off, or the open shot, knocks it down. Justin Champagne has established himself as one of the best players in the country. Last year, he would sit out by the three-point line and want to be a wing player, a three-point shooter. He moved his game inside the arc. He's been more productive. He's been a dominating force in the ACC.
Number 2 scorer, number 1 rebounder. A double-double in 11 of his 16 games, a candidate for Player of the Year in the ACC, and a finalist for the Karl Malone Award, which goes to the nation's best power forward. Shaquille Moore on the drive, leaves it for Bates, who flushes.
Shaquille Moore just brings so much energy on the defensive end. As an offensive player, a catalyst, penetrator, driver, and he's starting to knock down the three-point shot. Together, he and Cam Hayes have really played well.
All right, Paul, with Champagne on the bench right now, where does the offense come from for Pitt?
It may have to come on the offensive glass. And I'm not trying to be funny about that. Pitt is a great offensive rebounding team. If they don't get opportunities that are going to go in, then they have to crash the offensive glass for second chance points.
Coulibaly just picked up his second foul.
How about Moore? Attracts two defenders. Great catch by Manny Bates. He was deep near the basket. That pass came quick. Both of the NC State bigs, they really have strong hands to catch the ball. They have soft hands to finish the shot.
Tuesday, a men's basketball doubleheader, Wake and Pitt at 6. Huge bubble implications when Duke takes on Georgia Tech at 8. The Yellow Jackets have won 4 in a row, beat Syracuse yesterday. Moses Wright has to be in the Player of the Year conversation, top 5 in the ACC in scoring, rebounding, blocks, and steals. And right now, Georgia Tech, which hasn't been to the tournament in more than a decade, is Joe Lunardi's last team in. Duke, one of his first 4 out.
Last time they played, Duke won 75-68. What a matchup it's going to be between Moses Wright and Matthew Hurt.
Hurt exploded for 37 against Louisville yesterday. This one turned over. Here comes Moore. Ahead to Sebron. Two-handed flush.
And that's what Sebron gives NC State. An infusion of athleticism and versatility. Someone who can finish a break at a moment's notice, switch on defense, come up with some steals and blocks. I mean, this is freshman to freshman. Shaquille Moore, quick push. Sebron, quick finish. And this is the way Kevin Keats wants to play. That's his philosophy. That's his style of play. The defensive end is going to create offensive opportunities. One of the best at forcing turnovers.
Keats told us he likes Sebron's size at 6'7", replicates a little bit of what you lose without Daniels, and you called it. Pitt's best offense might have to be on the offensive glass.
But the part about being a good offensive rebounding team, you have to take good shots in rhythm, and you want to take shots that are close to the basket, ones that are open, so your teammates know when to attack the glass.
And we get a foul against Pitt.
Thank you. Spot forward, please.
It's on Terrell Brown, his first. 16 fouls on Pitt, 5 on NC State.
Now Jeff Capel changes to the zone. He told us on the call, we're going to play man, we're going to play zone. We can't play a steady diet of any one defense.
Hayes darts inside. The runner is not there, knocked out of bounds. TV Ted Valentine says Wolfpack ball.
20 seconds put back on the shot clock.
Ted Valentine, Roger Ayers, Pat Driscoll, the officials today.
That's a Final Four crew.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't tell him I said it. Trapping in the corner.
There's the trap. Dribbles out of it, inside 15. Jarrett Cole Helms in the 8 games without Devin Daniels, averaging 16 a game. He's picked up his scoring slack.
Just a beautiful job by Jericho Helms. And you heard Jeff Capel, he can't dribble out of the trap is right. When you have a trap in a corner, the only way out is by the pass. When you allow someone to dribble out, that means that trap was not tight, it wasn't connected.
And they're going to get Cam Hayes.
Think about it, you got 2 on the ball. So you got to not allow him to get out, turn the corner. Helms just beautiful poise, control, and the wherewithal to attack the basket and make the shot. That was beautiful.
Hayes all over Sabandi, who gets by him. And last touch on Champagny, NC State ball.
Jericho Helms is playing at a different level in the absence of Devin Daniels.
Early in the year, we got a glimpse at NC State, and they really looked like a potential sleeper in this conference. A couple of COVID pauses, an injury to their leading scorer, and the season has gone off the rails. But you look at what they've done the last 3 games, 3 straight road wins. Certainly the win against Virginia Wednesday got everyone's attention as Helms hits the 3. There's a lot of work to do here, but they've got some strong momentum late in the year with the ACC tournament approaching.
Helms just playing with a different level of confidence.
Hayes in the passing lane. Here comes the freshman. He's got help on the wings. Helms back to Cam Hayes. Lines up a 3, and the rebound to Moore.
NC State really looks in rhythm offensively. They are taking excellent shots. The ball's moving. They're relocating.
And that one thrown away by Moore.
Jericho Helms has been the step-up guy for State. That was contested by Champagny. Nothing but net.
ACC Network Basketball is presented by Food Lion, official grocer of the ACC. Jarrett Cole Helms, 6 points, 3 of 5 from the field. And Ishraaf, Paul Biancardi with you on this Sunday. And Helms has become the alpha, at least on the perimeter, offensively and defensively, in the absence of Devin Daniels.
He stepped up his game. 14 points a game right now. And the team's leading shot taker since Daniels went down with the injury. He's attempted 90 field goals. Next closest, DJ Funderburk at 63. His 3-point field goal percentage is 39%. He's 82 from the line. He's always been a good shooter. 4-star recruit out of high school. Always a mismatch problem on the offensive end. He could play as the small ball 4 or the big 3. And right now he's playing with a level of self-confidence that I haven't seen before. We've seen it in spurts. We've seen it in flashes. I think now he feels the urgency to step up for State.
There was a bit of a clock issue. That was the delay. In the 8 games since Devin Daniels got hurt, Helms 16 points per game, 49% from the field, 43% from 3. Right now, Pittsburgh searching for offense. Champagny down the lane through traffic, and it is clear where the focus is defensively for NC State. It's on number 11.
Justin Champagny, one of the best in the country at getting himself to the free throw line.
Paul, that's now 2 fouls on Bates. Funderburk already picked up his second earlier in this half.
You can stay with Bates. Let him finish this out unless he gets a third. You need one big in the game if you're NC State, because the way they play defense, they rush guys off the three-point shot and they push them to the rim, where Bates or Funderburk is waiting to block it or to contest it. This will show Bates' maturity level. Can he play knowing he can't foul?
Sebron left open. Offensive rebound, Bates. Put back, blocked by Brown. And Odekale threw it off of Bates.
Good team defense by Pitt. Two guys defensively, straight up. They don't foul Bates, and they get possession.
Ebenezer Dewana checks in as Bates will head to the bench. Champagny looking for help.
Coach Keats playing really small with Sebron and Helms at the 4 and 3.
Dewana, a freshman, has not played a whole lot this year. Odekale wanted it wide open. Brown never saw him. And Dewana comes up with the loose ball.
Dewana just has to be a physical presence on the defensive end, grab some rebounds, be a duck-in guy and ball screener on offense. Try to get them to the half.
Sebron down the lane, lost it.
Bad decision, nowhere to go.
Horton the other way, all the way. Threw it up, no good. Pitt's now missed 10 of its last 11. Jump ball, possession arrow, NC State. Pittsburgh 5 for 21 from the field. Can't say it's totally unexpected when two of your top 3 scorers enter the portal midweek.
But they've had some really good shots close to the basket that they haven't finished. I don't think that has anything to do with Johnson and Tony. They got to put the ball in the basket when they get inside the paint.
Beverly on the drive, the layup no good, but a foul. It's on Horton, and that's his second.
Here we go.
And a slam.
Big time.
Oh yeah, we're getting close to Champ Week. ACC tournament in Greensboro this year. Largest lead for NC State as Shaquille Moore comes back in. Freshman against freshman, Odekale and Moore. Here's Sabandi, nifty move to the basket. Dewana couldn't handle the rebound, but Moore has it.
And that's my point, Anish. Pitt has had a handful of shots right inside the restricted arc. You make a couple of those and it's a 1-possession game, 2-possession game versus being down double figures.
Shot clock at 6, and Moore fouled on the shot. A freshman mistake by Jeffress. Tonight we have the ACC Wrestling Championship right here in Raleigh at Reynolds Coliseum. Our 2-hour coverage of the finals begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. Paul, you don't want to look too far down the road because listen, NC State still has the pieces to potentially make a run. Obviously, a lot of work to do. But when you do think ahead to next season, assuming everybody who we think will come back comes back, Shaquille Moore will be a sophomore. Cam Hayes a sophomore. Sebron a redshirt sophomore. You can dream on those three and what this team could be a year from now.
And in the front court, Manny Bates to anchor it down. They have some terrific recruits coming in as well that can score the ball and shoot it. A lot of pieces for NC State in the future.
There's more again. The theft. And Helms held up by Sabandi. Not a ton of depth for Pitt. They've got to worry a little bit about the fouls starting to pile up.
You may see more zone by Jeff Capel, or maybe just not offensive rebound as much. First thing you have to do is get back in defensive transition and not allow layups or transition fouls.
21, guys, 21. 21.
Next 4 minutes, really crucial for Pitt. Coming into this game with the adversity of Johnson and Tony, no longer with the program, not scoring the ball well, playing hard. Down double figures. They don't want it to get away from them going into half.
Gerald Drumgoole into the game, and Terrell Brown. Pitt was 5 of 23 from the field prior.
That's what they needed, an energy play, a dunk, block shot. Something to create some energy on the floor.
Moore down the lane, does not go, and a Drumgoole with the rebound. Long outlet to Sabandi. It'll stay with Pitt. Can this be the spark for the Panthers? It's the veteran, the senior Terrell Brown. You're watching ACC Network Basketball presented by Food Lion. Coming up on the State Farm Halftime Report, Dallin Cuff and Luke Hancock in studio. They'll give you a little ACC bracketology after Saturday's action and a preview of Virginia-Miami on Monday. UVA has lost 3 in a row. Miami, a mash unit. They've had injuries all year long. Are you concerned at all about the Cavaliers of late?
I'm not.
You're
it's
not.
just their defense needs to continue to grow. Everybody talks about Virginia. They talk defense first. In my opinion, they're better offensively this season than they are defensively. And there's still time to tighten that defense up. Huff, Murphy, those guys can score the ball. Now, NC State did a terrific job of running Huff and Murphy off the three-point line, and Hauser.
Yo, right.
Champagny goes strong. They are waiting for him at the rim. That's the idea of the defense for Kevin Keats. Press up on shooters. Try to force turnovers, deny passes. And if you beat us, we have shot blockers in the back waiting.
Ebenezer Dewana getting some extended minutes with Funderburk and Bates. Both on the bench with 2 fouls. Sebron in for Moore.
NC State has 3 legitimate bigs that can block shots. Obviously, Manny Bates is the best. Watching Cam Hayes over the last few games, I love the way he doesn't force the action. He's getting his teammates involved. He scores. What opportunity.
And a foul along the baseline. It's on Champagny, his first. And you can tell he's a little frustrated. Right now he is the offense for Pitt. He hasn't been, though, in this first half. Only 3 points, 1 of 8 from the field.
When he touches the ball, he has one guy on him, another one waiting, and then a rim protector at the very end. So he's basically going 1 against 3 every time he touches the basketball. A help defender and a rim protector. And we mentioned it at the beginning. He's not on the scouting report. He's not the...
He is the scouting report.
He is the scouting report. He is the focal point. How do you take him out of his game? How do you deny him the ball? What do you do when he catches the ball? Make sure you block him out. I mean, the detail on scouting report defense against someone like Justin Champagnie is deep.
He's had an unbelievable season. Put together back-to-back 20-20 games early this year. 20 points, 20 rebounds, forces that one, and then rips it away from Dewana, and it comes back to Pitt, and a foul on the floor. Now that's one thing he will do. The shot is not falling, active on the glass.
Makes a quick move rebounds. He makes a quick move to the basket and beats Helms. But Dewana sitting there waiting on him. He'll use fouls if he has to make sure Champagnie doesn't score. You see him shaking his head, saying to himself, got to figure out a way how to get the ball in the basket. Offensive rebounding is important. The ability to drive and get fouled.
Drumgoole is at the line. And we get a technical foul. Champagnie can't believe it. This was a bit of an issue with Xavier Johnson, and Jeff Capel even addressed it a little while ago when Johnson was still on the team, saying, listen, I've talked to him about it, can't do anything. And, you know, in Champagnie's defense here, I'm sure there's frustration on a number of levels. Right now, he's 1 of 9 from the field. His team is down. It's been a tumultuous week, to say the least, for his basketball program.
When you look at him, he said something, but what did he say and who did he say it to?
And how did he say it?
And how did he say it? He looked across the lane. To me, it might have been something towards the opposition, not towards the official. But in any case, the response that you have to the failings that you have can get you in trouble.
For those with toddlers, this is where you borrow from the Daniel Tiger playbook. Take a deep breath and count to 4.
Or teenagers. I have a teenager watching this game right now, so hopefully she's paying attention.
29-19, NC State on top. Helms in the high post from 15, falling away. And Brown snags it.
Really good contest by Champagnie. So that shows me his head is in the game. Got a technical foul, but came back on the defensive end, went to the next play. Good sign for Pitt. His frustration comes on the offensive end, not the defensive end.
6 of 26. But over these next few games, they're going to have to learn how to win ugly. Sabande beats the shot clock, does not hit the rim, and a shot clock violation, 7th turnover for Pitt.
When they run a set play for Champagnie, the defense sniffs it out. They come with a double. They have a shot blocker waiting on them. When you have a free-flowing motion offense, then other guys are going to shoot the ball that maybe don't have the ability to knock in shots. So you look out of rhythm on the offensive end. But what's important right now is to stay focused defensively, because it's easy to give up on the defensive end when you're not scoring.
And Dewana. Ebenezer Dewana, just his 2nd field goal of the season.
Just a simple attack by NC State. They went to the short corner, they rolled the post.
That was his first basket since November 25th, as the tip-in is good. And that's right now the formula for Pitt. Crash the offensive glass. A timeout by NC State. 44 seconds to go in the opening half. The Pack up by 10. Anish Shroff, Paul Biancardi with you. Tough week for Jeff Capel, losing Xavier Johnson and Audice Toney. You missed not only your starting point guard, who was second in the ACC in assists, and Johnson. Toney, aside from being the number 2 scorer for Pitt, he was also Capel's best defender.
Together, 28 points. You talk about the defensive side of the ball. But for that decision to come about a couple of days ago, there's been problems inside the Pitt program. You could see it in the games at times. Xavier Johnson got a few technical fouls too many. It's a sign of frustration. They weren't winning at a high level with those guys, though they certainly built the program around them.
And Jeff Capel stressed that point. He said, listen, we weren't winning when those guys were playing. Pitt had lost 7 of 8 after starting 4-1 in conference. Beverly. And there's Brown, who's given Pitt some good minutes down low. 4 points, 4 rebounds. And a timeout by Jeff Capel. Frustrating first half for Justin Champagnie, number 2 in scoring, number 1 in rebounding in the ACC. Only 2 of 10 from the field.
Well, let's give some credit to NC State. They've been all over him. As soon as he touches the ball, they press up on him on the drive, not allowing him to shoot the ball with open looks. They're blocking him out on the shot. They have rim protectors in the back. NC State's defense has been focused on Justin Champagnie. It's paid off. He's 2 for 10 from the field. Still has 7 rebounds.
Meanwhile, Jericho Helms, 8 points, 8 rebounds, also 3 assists, leading the way for NC State. The Wolfpack 10 points off of turnovers. Neither team has shot it well. Pitt 7 of 29, NC State just 9 of 25. It's been a sloppy first half for the most part.
Audice Toney and Xavier Johnson took pressure off of Champagnie in terms of scoring.
Yep.
So now they have to learn how to play without those guys. They haven't practiced but once without those guys. Late in the season, you're going to see some rust offensively.
Champagnie, 3 seconds. Drumgoole hoists it up, air ball, and that's how the first half fittingly ends. NC State has won 3 straight, all on the road, coming home today. And they've got a 10-point lead after 20 minutes of play. Helms leading the way. Sebron led the way on that break. 31-21, NC State. To Dallin and Luke in the studio.
And welcome into the ACC Network. State Farm halftime report, 31-21. The Pack are up on Pitt. Alongside Luke Hancock, I'm Dallin Cuff. Luke, this is the first time that Pitt's playing without Audice Toney and Xavier Johnson since transferring earlier this week. They're down 10. What did you make of the performance from the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I thought their execution, their game plan was really, really good. I mean, you mentioned those guys being out for Pittsburgh. The guy they're going to key in on, Justin Champagnie, had a really tough time in the first half. Really showed a lot of effort. I mean, he's hitting the boards, but they have had help side defenders going at Justin Champagnie every single time he puts the ball on the deck. They've thrown multiple defenders at him. NC State's really executed their game plan on the defensive end to get this lead.
And Champagnie 2 of 10 from the field right now. Pitt shooting 23% overall. This is the only men's game going on the day. Second block of the show, TV term. Terrell Brown and Pitt right now are struggling. That was easy, but they're down 10 to the Pack right now. Come back in a minute.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Appreciate it. We'll see you at Nothing But Net coming up at 6 o'clock with the rest of our crew. Darian Seaborn and his crew. Every Pack player has scored in this game. They're up 10. Second half coming your way with Anish and Paul.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And you're watching ACC Network basketball presented by Food Lion. Anish Shroff, Paul Biancardi in our Charlotte studios. NC State back home after 3 straight road wins. And the Wolfpack with a 10-point lead on a depleted Pittsburgh team as we get ready for the start of the second half. It was not a pretty first half, but NC State with a 10-point lead nonetheless.
State has 6 assists, not many. They only have 9 field goals, but 6 assists on 9 field goals. Great sign for the Wolfpack. Each team really struggling from the outside, but their defense, NC State's, has been really strong the whole first half. They've showed the ability to sustain defensively, even when they're not making shots from the outside. They're only 2 for 10 from distance.
Of course, a tumultuous week for Jeff Capel. Xavier Johnson, his starting point guard, and Audice Toney, his second leading scorer, both entered the transfer portal. So not a lot of offense beyond Justin Champagnie, one of the favorites for ACC Player of the Year. Champagnie 5 points, only 2 of 10 shooting, 8 rebounds in that first half. NC State has DJ Funderburk and Manny Bates back on the floor. They sat a lot in that first half with foul trouble. Nike Sabandi driving the lane. Here's Terrell Brown. And Brown with 6 points, tied for the team lead in scoring.
At this point in the season, you have to learn how to play defense when you're not scoring. You have to be programmed to dig in defensively when the jump shot's not going down, the ball's not going in the basket.
Funderburk strong to the bucket. Brown altered it. And a foul down low.
What a fabulous play by Funderburk. As soon as he missed the shot, the instinct to go right back up to the glass, just snatched it. Pitt defenders just watching.
DJ Funderburk, one of the players Kevin Keats told us has really stepped up when leading scorer Devin Daniels went down last month with a torn ACL. Funderburk has scored in double figures in 6 straight games. He and Jericho Helms have been the offensive catalysts. And then Braxton Beverly and Manny Bates got a lot of credit from Kevin Keats for filling in with the leadership void that Daniels left behind.
Funderburk, a high field goal percentage guy, currently second in program history. NC State, that's amazing at 57.5%. You can count on Funderburk for a basket. I like his defense, guarding the perimeter, showing some signs.
Sabandi over Helms, he's got 8. The Miami, Ohio transfer and former MAC Freshman of the Year.
I think Justin Champagnie has found his running mate, his new running mate with Sabandi.
Hey, look at Funderburk, 58% from the field, second all-time in Wolfpack history.
Not only does he bring scoring, but he brings rebounding, rim protection, and he's learning how to defend away from the basket. He's got great mobility and quick feet.
Called for the travel. Femi Odekale getting the start at point guard today with Xavier Johnson off the team.
Funderburk wants him.
Odekale, the freshman, against the trees. Got it off. Brown, the offensive rebound, missed the bunny. It comes back to Sabandi. Odekale left open and hits.
Pitt needs some type of outside presence. Not a great three-point shooting team, but make a couple, get some confidence, get the defense to close out a little bit harder.
Helms, the offensive rebound, swatted at the rim.
Pitt's going to make the next 3 games ugly for opponents.
Well, listen, offensively, it has not looked good, but you look at the scoreboard, they're down 5 after losing 40% of their scoring. You can't sit back and watch this game and say Jeff Capel's team isn't trying.
Oh, they come out of the gates with great effort. Missed a lot of layups in the first half.
And Sabandi, no shot clock awareness.
NC State staying in their stance. One of the hardest things to do on the defensive end is to finish a possession in your stance. Wolfpack looked great on that possession.
Bates sets the screen for Hayes, open for three. And the rebound to Ithiel Horton. He picked up a couple of fouls in the first half. Sabandi driving the other way. And 2 shots coming. Pitt with a chance to make it a 1-possession game. Nike Sabandi, a senior, a transfer from Miami, as we said, the school in Ohio. And he is considering a return to Pitt next year. Remember, everybody this year gets an extra year of eligibility. Sabandi had a bit of a contentious transfer. Wanted to relocate to Pitt to be closer to his infant daughter. The NCAA initially denied his waiver to play right away, but he was later declared eligible when a blanket waiver in December was given to all transfers.
Last time Pitt played NC State, Sabandi played 14 minutes. Against Florida State, he played 36 minutes. His role and expectation has changed within a matter of 1 week. And Jeff Capel needs him to do more, play more, score more. 6'4" guard out of Indianapolis.
What's that like, Paul, when guys like Sabandi and Horton go from being role players to now being asked to carry a pretty significant part of the offensive burden?
You go from a role player who's, 7th or 8th on the scouting report to a main guy, and teams lock in on what you do well. He's had no time to practice in that role, which is a huge problem. Look at NC State. When Daniels went down, the Wolfpack struggled. They had to get their role allocation together. They had to get some rhythm with the unit that they were going to play with. So it takes time. And at the end of the season, when you have to change roles, it's really difficult, both physically and mentally.
Funderburk, the first field goal of the second half for NC State. And a whistle.
Did I hear Ted Valentine say,
"It's my fault"?
It's my fault. Somebody record that. Put that out on social media.
You hear everything. Terrell Brown had picked up his second foul.
I've known Teddy for a long time. He ref games when I was in the Big East and the Big Ten. One of the best we have in the profession.
Beverly spots up and hits. A 40% three-point shooter.
That's what NC State needs out of Beverly, the occasional random three-point shot. They have guys who can finish. They have guys who can score inside. They need to continue to touch the net from behind the arc.
The Pack just 3 of 13 from 3. Odekali against Hayes. Off balance. Follows his shot over Bates, the top shot blocker in the ACC.
Great push by Hayes. Pretty good defense last time, too.
Helms lines it up and knocks it down.
Helms, Beverly, those are the best three-point shooters for the Wolfpack. Cam Hayes can get hot at times. Shaquille Moore as well. It's hard to count on freshmen to make threes. So Helms and Beverly are the outside shooters for this team.
NC State coming off a statement win Wednesday at Virginia. The three-point shot was not falling early for the Pack. The last two, they went in.
Veterans from the outside, Braxton Beverly. On the left side, Jericho Helms. Wolfpack trying to break it open.
The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified February 20th to the 28th as ACC Unity Week. As a part of this initiative, members of Pitt and NC State join one another on the court to demonstrate their commitment to seeing each other as equals and to treating each other with respect and dignity at all times, recognizing that our differences don't divide us but make us stronger. Jeff Capel, Kevin Keats on their respective sidelines. A 10-point game. That was the margin at halftime. Anish Shroff, Paul Biancardi here in our Charlotte studios. And Paul, when you look at NC State, they've obviously lost Devin Daniels. This is now game 9 playing without Daniels, their leading scorer. Beverly fouled, hits the 3, a chance for a 4-point play. What I was going to ask you, Paul, is this an NC State team that has the potential to make a deep run in Greensboro? Absolutely.
Kevin Keats has always prided himself on having a deep team. This year he has depth and experience. Now Daniels is out for the season, and that's a big loss, but there's other guys collectively that have contributed to their 4-game winning streak. And Beverly is a very important piece. Kevin Keats right out of the timeout runs a little elevator play, which means he cuts between 2 guys. They shut the door. He's happy. Kevin Keats called his number. Played his high school ball at Hargrave Military Academy. Kevin was one time the head coach there. So yes, they have the depth. They have the experience to do it. And they've had enough time practicing without Daniels to figure it out.
Beverly's got 14 to lead all scorers. Odekali, no good. Rebound, Funderburk.
Anish, we had NC State early in the year, and I said they were a dangerous team, and I still believe that. 2 of the best bigs in the ACC with Bates and Funderburk. Cam Hayes, the freshman, playing like a former top 100 recruit. I like this team.
Now Champagny has not had many touches in the second half. Makes the most of that one. 7 points. And it looks like he just got teed up, and that's his second technical. And if that's the case, he's done.
Beautiful pass over the defense. The catch.
Hanging on the rim. Wow.
Looked like there was a body below him or near him. Let's take a look at another angle. Nobody in front of him. Tough call.
And that's a fine line.
And it wasn't. Let's take one more look. Was it a full chin up? Let's take a look. He dunks it. He pulls himself up.
If you're Pitt now, listen, we said it at the top of the broadcast. We've said it repeatedly. Xavier Johnson and Audice Toney. Well, the good news is it's not an unsportsmanlike technical, so he can stay in the game. That would have been what would have gotten him kicked out. So a reprieve there for Champagny. Brown the block.
Just a sign of his frustration when he got up to the rim. He just let it all out. Didn't want to let go of the rim. Look at the defense. White shirts everywhere. Eyes looking at Justin Champagny. That's where he's really tough. That Carmelo Anthony low to mid post. Catch it with your back to the basket. Face up. Put it on the deck. Create the foul.
That foul on Funderburk, his third. Champagny's been getting to the free throw line, 25 attempts in his previous 2 games. We'll have the best of the ACC Women's Swimming and Diving Championship tomorrow night, 8 to 10 Eastern, and next Sunday, it's the best of ACC fencing from 6 to 8, followed by a 2-hour recap of the indoor track and field championship from Clemson. All 3 right here on the ACC network.
Last time State and Pitt played, Champagny was 11 of 16 from the free throw line. He's really struggled, Anish, with the three-point shot. Last 5 games, he's been 1 for 12. Now, he has not even looked for his long-range shot in this game, and that's a good sign. He understands who he is offensively.
Here comes Champagny. And he'll go back to the free throw line. That's when he's at his best, when he is in attack mode.
Open floor. Space to push it. Loves physicality when he gets into the paint. He embraces contact. And a 71% free throw shooter.
Roy Williams has Duke coming up next weekend. UNC got Roy Williams his 900th win yesterday against Florida State.
That was a tremendous comeback by the Tar Heels. What a front court. 4 guys that can get a double-double at any time. Walker Kessler, who was at one time the 4th of the 4 bigs, scored 20 points against Florida State. Baycott, Brooks, Sharp. If their three-point shooting can just improve, 31% right now. The turnovers have been a problem all season long as well.
Champagny again, strong to the basket, lost it, recovers. Coulibaly gets it up over Bates. Now Pitt playing with a little juice. The lead is 8.
They're playing with heart, just like their head coach, Jeff Capel.
Helms for 3, in and out. Rebound, Coulibaly.
I've known Jeff Capel for a long time. Feisty guy, great competitor, terrific player.
Oda Kelly has that one fall. A 2-possession game and a timeout by Kevin Keats. The lead is 6 for NC State. 11:43 to go in this second half. Hey, a reminder to fans to download the ACC 3 Points Challenge app presented by New York Life to help benefit the local boys and girls clubs. Score points for your school, and after the tournament, the local boys and girls club will receive a donation from New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final ranking. Well, that last timeout was called by Pitt, not NC State, and to clarify, Justin Champagny, when he picked up that second technical, one was a Class B technical, one was a Class A technical. So, Paul, therein lies the difference. If you pick up another Class A, you're done. Media timeout, 11:31. We'll step aside as well. ACC Network basketball presented by Food Lion. 6-point lead for NC State with DJ Funderburk at the line. Funderburk, a 79% free throw shooter. The Wolfpack 15 out of 19 now from the free throw line. The lead is 7. It was 10 at halftime. The shorthanded, decimated Pittsburgh team still in the game. They have not had the best offensive game from their best player, Justin Champagny, who's not on the floor. Noah Collier down low. Jeff Capel has played pretty much everybody today.
You get this close. Collier, just a baby, just a freshman. This is a young Pitt roster.
But how many of these bunnies has Pitt missed today?
They missed a lot in the first half, but in the second half, Pitt is shooting 53% from the field. They've gotten a lot of paint looks, a lot of second chance opportunities. But that 53% is so much better than the first half where they were low 30s.
From statistician Paul Newman, Pitt today on layups, 8 for 24.
There you go. And a lot of those were missed in the first half. We just saw another one missed. There's not much you can do about that as a coach. You go back into practice, show film, work on balance. There's finishing drills that you can practice against defenders live. It really becomes a focus when you get that close, and a toughness to take the hit and finish the play. Collier, just a freshman, probably not used to getting banged like that close in.
Beverly's got 14, and we get a foul. And that is on Koulibaly, his 4th.
Pitt needs to be careful. That's 6 team fouls. Next one, NC State is shooting for the rest of the game. May see Jeff Capel maybe switch to a little bit of zone to buy some time. You're still aggressive in the zone, but there's less of a chance to commit a foul.
Here's Beverly, team high 14 points. And Ted Valentine blows the whistle. They get Noah Collier, the freshman. So NC State now in the bonus.
You could see the aggressiveness from Pitt, you know, trying to get back in the game, trying to create some offense through their defense. Just getting a little too close. And with younger players, they don't know how to defend without committing fouls, especially off the dribble.
Champagny back in there for Pitt. And Funderburk extends the lead to 8.
I love this move by Kevin Keats. Just picking up full court, making Pitt work to bring it up, eating time away from the shot clock.
Sabandi lost the handle. Champagny there to clean up. 13 for Justin Champagny.
It looked like the pressure was speeding up Pitt. Almost got that turnover.
Beverly to Funderburk. Funderburk gets it back. The no-look feed by Shaquille Moore.
Great second effort by the Wolfpack. Funderburk just stays so engaged. Senior always has that next play mentality. A lot of guys missed that shot close in, put their head down.
Odekali to the rim. And they may get Manny Bates on the foul. It is on Bates, that's 3.
Funderburk staying with this. Misses, good contest by Pitt. Beautiful shovel by Shaquille Moore. Funderburk, 6'10", catching a shovel pass. To me, that's so impressive, the hands that he has with the footwork. You can see why he's improved over his time at NC State. You know, be good. As a big man, you need hands that can catch, you need hands that can score, and you need footwork.
Back to a 2-possession game. Funderburk with 11 points today has now scored in double figures in 7 straight. Big Monday, North Carolina coming off the big win against Louisville, against a reeling Syracuse team. The Orange blown out last Monday by Duke. Fell to Georgia Tech yesterday. Their tournament hopes slipping away. Hayes for 3. Battle for the rebound. Funderburk got tied up with Jeffress, no call. Jeffress hits the 3 at the other end, and Pitt within 3. Just the 3rd three-pointer of the season for William Jeffress. A timeout by Kevin Keats.
The freshman lining it up behind the line. This guy's came into college basketball at 17 and a half years of age. Pitt bench fired up.
He was 2 for 15 from 3 prior to that make. Tuesday on the ACC Network, a big doubleheader. It's Wake Forest and Pitt at 6, and then bubble implications, 8 p.m. Duke and Georgia Tech. Paul, the more I think about it, if Georgia Tech finishes the year strong, I think Moses Wright for the Yellow Jackets has as strong a case as anybody for ACC Player of the Year. Right now, Georgia Tech, one of Lenardi's last 4 in. Duke, one of the first 4 out. Wright yesterday had 31 points, 15-16 rebounds against Syracuse. He's had 3 straight games with at least 20. Top 5 in the ACC in scoring, rebounding, steals, and blocks, and doing it for a team that is in contention.
And as you mentioned before, a no-star recruit coming out of high school. I would say Carlik Jones, Moses Wright, and Champagnie, the 3 candidates for Player of the Year. Maybe Matt Hurt. He was sensational last night for Duke. 37 against Louisville.
Here's another name, Jose Alvarado for Georgia Tech.
I think he's more of the heart and soul of Georgia Tech, and I think he's the MVP of that team. But when you're talking about Player of the Year, I think Moses Wright, you mentioned his numbers. Undersized 4 playing the 5.
How about Beverly to drop off to Funderburk?
And you asked me if NC State could make a run. The seniors for NC State, Beverly, Funderburk, they know how to respond when a team comes at them. And Pitt has been coming after them all game long. I like the poise that NC State plays with.
Certainly they've won some tough road games, especially Wednesday against Virginia. Overall, they've won 4 straight on the road. That will count, but it did not hit the rim, and it's a shot clock violation.
The Wolfpack trying to break this game open. Beverly with the drive. Sweet drop off to Funderburk. The Pack trying to get the running game going.
Braxton Beverly, 14 points to lead the way for NC State. ACC basketball brought to you by Food Lion, official grocer of the ACC. It's interesting, Beverly has been fighting through back and hip pain. Sometimes he won't practice. It's really day to day. Kevin Keats told us earlier today that he's on a minutes restriction during the week. They limit his minutes sometimes during games. If you look at his last 4 games, he's playing on average less than 20 minutes per, but they're trying to maximize his effectiveness down the stretch in these critical games right now.
Beverly's always been a competitive young man, tries to make hustle plays. Every time I've seen him go down in a game, you always see him get back up.
And Kevin Keats made sure to emphasize the point that, hey, if it's up to Braxton Beverly, he wants to stay on the floor and he wants to practice. Today he's played 20 minutes.
And he gives NC State that 3-point deep range shooting ability. Over 65% of his shots are from 3. He opens the floor for the drive game by Hayes and Sebron. Funderburk and Bates can post up on his side of the floor. And he brings leadership and toughness.
Terrell Brown picked up his 3rd foul. Manny Bates, number 1 in the ACC in blocks and field goal percentage. The offensive game has taken another step forward this season. Close to a double-digit scorer for the Wolfpack.
He's done a nice job of posting up. He can score with either hand inside. And he stays in the painted area. NC State switching a lot of screens.
Champagnie down low to Brown. Terrell Brown's got 8.
Terrific find by Champagnie. State got a little loose with their switching. Champagnie found the open man.
Funderburk to Bates. Bates turns the corner on Brown, lost the handle. Brown backing down Bates. Over Bates, the touch with the jump hook.
Pitt's made it a one-possession game.
Well, this is what Jeff Capel told us. You get down to about the 5-6 minute mark, his team seemed to be in the game. The problem has been closing. They need to watch the first 10 minutes of Glengarry Glen Ross. A always, BB, C closing.
Pitt starting to execute a little bit better. State loose on defense. Great find by Justin Champagnie. Brown with a little baby hook inside. High percentage shots. Pitt playing to the strength of their team. Second chance points. Trying to get to the free throw line. Staying close to the basket.
We get a whistle. Beverly stepped out of bounds, so Pitt with a chance to tie with a 3. Hard to tell from that angle. We have not been tied since it was even at 4. Sabandi down the lane. The entry pass denied, but Champagnie gets it back. Poked away. Helms the other way. Lays it in for 2.
What a move. Just at the right time. Jericho Helms made that sidestep. Beautiful finish.
Odicali drops it off for Brown, who's blocked from behind. Manny Bates, the cancellation.
Pitt's getting into the paint off the drive. When you get paint touches, you're in position for dump-offs. Bates, always a factor at the rim. NC State has to sit down and slide and take a stand. Pitt's not going to beat you from the outside, but they will beat you if they get into the paint.
Sabandi for 3. A battle for the rebound down low and a foul against NC State. It's on Helms.
State is so dangerous when they go from defense to offense. Quick hands. They really convert well. And Helms looked like he was going right, sidestepped it to the left, created the space for the finish.
Justin Champagnie with that last rebound. Guess what, Paul? Another double-double. Double-doubles for Champagnie in 17 games this year. Of course, he's averaging a double-double.
And you think about where he scores from, mostly inside the arc, so you know where to find him. You know he's going to hit the glass with double-figure rebounds, but you still can't stop him.
He had a promising freshman season, and he has made himself into a star in this league. Helms grazes the side of the rim. Here comes Sabandi. Again, a 3 ties it for Pitt. Sabandi to Jeffress. Down the lane, blocked by Bates. 5 blocks now for Bates.
Manny Bates saves the day.
Hayes. It's saved by Bates, looking for help. He'll turn and shoot. Manny Bates doing it all.
You make a big-time block on one end. You get the confidence on the offensive end. He took a broken play, turned it into 2 points. Sign of growth.
Sabandi saves it. 18 offensive rebounds for Pitt. That has been their secret sauce to stay in this game. Champagnie challenging Bates and denied.
He didn't block it, but he contested it. Just his presence alone makes you hesitate on the offensive end.
Media timeout at the next whistle.
Try to get it into Bates. He's playing with energy, he's hot.
Now that's going to go as a block, so he's up to 6. Shot clock at 4. Beverly for Bates. Deflected by Champagnie. Sibandi ahead to Brown, and he is fouled from behind. Manny being Manny.
It's always defense first with Manny Bates. Just waiting on it. The timing impeccable. The swat. And oh yeah, Manny Bates, he can score buckets too. Manny Bates has been terrific in this game. 6 rejections on the defensive end. Offensively, 10 points. He's got the jump hook down. He's a great finisher. Plays to the rim, stays in the paint. He's been the difference maker for NC State in this game.
10 points, 3 rebounds, 6 blocks when Pitt has gone into the paint. No vacancy at the Bates Motel today. 5-point lead for the Wolfpack. NC State looking for a 4th straight win. They would get to 500 in conference play. Pittsburgh has been in a free fall after starting 8-2 and 4-1 in conference. They've lost 7 of 8. They lost Xavier Johnson and Audis Toney, 40% of their scoring earlier in the week when those two decided to enter the transfer portal. And that late season tailspin, we've now seen that for Pitt in all 3 years under Jeff Capel. DJ Funderburk had picked up the last foul for NC State, so he's got 4. And Brown gets 1 out of 2, the soft rim. He was just 9 of 15 from the line entering today.
When you look at the scores for Pitt, most of the season in the ACC, last 5 minutes they've had the lead or been down 1 or 2 possessions. Capel told us last night, we struggle to finish games. Without Toney and Johnson, they've been impressive in this game, coming back with an opportunity to tie it several times.
A lot of people questioned what was going on inside the Pitt program this week, and not to say that one game dismisses the validity of those questions, but we got a traveling call on Champagnie. Jeff Capel can point to the effort today, win or lose, and say, listen, there's a culture in place. This is a team that played together. You're missing some key weapons. Justin Champagnie did not have his best game offensively, and they're fighting until the end against what is a NC State team that has been on a pretty good run and that just beat Virginia a few days ago.
NC State's been one of the hottest teams in the ACC. They have experience, they have depth. They're playing with confidence right now. And Pitt comes into this game with unknowns. And here we are with 2 minutes to go.
Funderburk calling for it, trying to post up Sibandi. They can't get it to him. Hayes to Bates. A lot of dribbling down low. Shot clock at 2. Funderburk is fouled by Champagnie. And that's a bailout foul with 1 on the shot clock.
Yeah, the spacing for NC State got a little tight. You see a lot of white jerseys together. When you play with 2 bigs, you got to make sure they separate. One maybe at the high post, 1 at the low post, or 1 in the short corner, the other one at the high post. When you get 2 bigs together, it's easy for the defense to come down and dig it out.
We have not seen a lot of Ithiel Horton today. 18 minutes, only 1 point, no field goals. And now in this juncture, Pitt might need another shooter. Tonight we'll have the ACC Wrestling Championships, also from Raleigh, Reynolds Coliseum. Our 2-hour coverage of the finals begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. 1:40 to go in this one. And 2 missed free throws by DJ Funderburk. Odicali on the floor for Pitt along with Brown, Champagnie, Sibandi. and Jeffress, the freshman. Nike Sabandi off the high screen to Brown, the jumper. Offensive rebound, Jeffress, the putback, and he's fouled. And if that's Funderburk, he's done. And DJ Funderburk has fouled out.
Really good possession by Pitt. They didn't go to Justin Champagnie. Brown got it off a ball screen, missed it. They attacked the offensive glass, which they do so well, Pittsburgh. Now they had an opportunity to get 2 points. Maybe put on some pressure, change their defense. And Funderburk is out of the game.
19 offensive rebounds for Pitt, just 7 for NC State. Funderburk is done, 13 points, 3 rebounds for the senior. And now young William Jeffress, the freshman out of Erie, Pennsylvania, to the free throw line. First free throws of the game. He's only attempted 8 free throws all season, 4 of 8. And these are easily the biggest free throws he's attempted all season. Getting some encouragement from fellow freshman Femi Odekali. Missed them both.
Nerves at the foul line. State must get a good shot on this possession. No live ball turnovers. Execution will be key.
Hayes is bumped. Paul, earlier today we were talking with Kevin Cates, and Cates told us, hey, there's been some weird happenings in the ACC with Marquette beating North Carolina, BC yesterday taking out Notre Dame. He said, you know, you look on paper and you see no Xavier Johnson, no Audice Toney. Doesn't mean that you can just show up and win.
The game is never played on paper, Anish. And if anybody has questions about the Pitt program and where they are and how did the loss of Toney and Johnson hurt them, absolutely hurts them statistically and from a talent standpoint. But Jeff Capel's group come in with tremendous intensity, focus. They play with great effort. Yeah, they didn't shoot the ball well, but they've done some really nice things in this game. And they put themselves in a position to win this game on the road.
Nothing But Net, our weekly basketball studio show. It follows our game. We'll preview the week, look back at the best games from last week, highlights, analysis, and insight that only we can provide. We're coming down the home stretch in the ACC. NC State, 54 seconds away from a 4th straight win. They can get to 500 in conference. A season for the Wolfpack that's been defined by a couple of COVID pauses and the loss of leading scorer Devin Daniels to a torn ACL. 2 games against Pitt, both have gone down to the wire. NC State looking to sweep the season series. In fact, they have dominated Pitt since the Panthers joined the ACC, 11-1. What's the message here from both sidelines?
For Pittsburgh, stay in it. Stay focused. Let's get a good shot. We got a good shot last possession. We missed it. We crashed the offensive glass. Kevin Keats, let's be solid. We don't have to gamble. We just need to make one stop.
Pitt's got 2 timeouts, both teams in the double bonus. Sabandi down the lane, sweeping in. The basket will not count, and 2 shots for Nike Sabandi.
How about Sabandi with the blow-by dribble?
Slow to get up.
He's at the top of the key. Next minute, he's at the rim. Bates tried late for the contest. No basket. Ball's on the rim.
Ted Valentine going to the monitor. We're waiting for clarification. We're told they are checking who the foul was on. Funderburk has fouled out. Beverly, Helms, Bates all in double figures for NC State. Champagny another double-double for Pitt. Odicali with a dozen.
Fouls on Manny Bates.
So that's 4 on Bates. They wanted to see if the follow was good. And that is going to be offensive goaltending, though.
That was easy.
The foul obviously stands, and Sabandi, 2 shots coming.
Now, if you're Pitt, you have to think of your strategy. You make these 2. You're still down 2 possessions. You have to pick up full court, try for a trap, then commit a foul.
Sabandi now 2 for 4 today. He had only attempted 7 free throws entering the game, and Jeff Capel is watching some of his role players step up in bigger roles, and they've missed some big free throws down the stretch. Brown had the rebound. It goes off of NC State. It stays with Pitt, but we've now seen Jeffress miss 2 and Sabandi miss 2. Those are crucial.
Yeah, and NC State knows that Pitt is a great offensive rebounding team. Sabandi not making his free throws. You got to block your man out. You got to step up the lane. All 4 guys got to get in there and get that loose ball.
Pitches to 17 of 28 at the line. Sabandi shoots over Hayes, short. And now the quick foul, so Cam Hayes, a 74% free throw shooter, back to the line.
I wasn't in love with that 3-point shot by Sabandi. I know he's feeling it offensively a little bit, but time and score, you don't have much time and you're down 2 possessions. You need to score the ball and then stop the clock. Thought a shot fake and drive would have been the right play.
If Hayes hits just 1, it's a 3-possession game.
We talked earlier about NC State and the future roster that they have. This young man, Cam Hayes, he'll turn into the leader of the team next year. Scoring point guard with a great basketball IQ.
3-possession game, 63-56. Odicali, uncontested. Timeout, Jeff Capel, 22 seconds to go. These late season swoons for Pitt have been a troubling trend. It started in Jeff Capel's first year. They started 12-5, then lost 13 of their next 14. Last year, 15-9, right around the bubble before losing 8 of their last 9 when the season was called. This year, 8-2, 4-1 in conference. They had just beaten Duke, and then the wheels have fallen off, losing 7 of 8. And obviously the bigger losses off the court, losing Xavier Johnson and Audice Toney this past week in a span of 25 hours, both entering the transfer portal.
When you look at their last 3 losses, I watched the Florida State game. They lost 79-72. They were in it the whole game. Last time they played State, it was a 1-point game. The effort is there. The focus is there. The ability to finish sometimes can take a whole season to figure that out.
Shaquille Moore fouled immediately. Only a 55% free throw shooter. 2 for 2 today.
And when you're trying to learn how to finish a game, Anish, sometimes you just have to win one of those games to see it happen. You need a tangible result. Pitt hasn't had that in a while.
And neither team making these clutch free throws down the stretch.
Chance to put the game away. 2 free throws. Would have made it 3 possessions.
Moore missed them both. Door still ajar for Pitt. Odekale puts it up. And another foul against NC State. So Femi Odekale, who is one of the worst free throw shooters in the ACC, to the free throw line. Just 21 of 46 entering today. 3 for 5 on the afternoon.
So if you're NC State and you know that scouting report analytics on the second shot, you may block out Champetti with 2 guys. He's on the right side. Put Cam Hayes on the shooter. Try to pinch Champetti.
Odekale gets them both at 63-60. As Yakuta checks in. And they're likely to foul.
All-out denial, face guard. Foul right away.
And they'll foul Beverly.
He's got a jump ball.
Possession arrow NC State, though.
That's the first thing you want to do. Try to secure that jump ball. That's why you trap. You don't foul right away. Great job by Beverly trying to protect it.
NC State has 1 timeout. Moore trapped in the corner. Tied up, dribbles out of it. Over to Helms. And Jericho Helms, an 80% free throw shooter, can ice it at the free throw line.
The one place you don't want to catch it is in the corner because you have the sideline and the baseline. But the one guy you do want to catch it, if it's in the corner, Shaquille Moore. Small, tough, quick. He felt the urgency to get out of that trap. Did a fantastic job.
Helms has had a nice game. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. If you're Kevin Keats, this is one of these. Take a deep exhale once it goes final. 65-60 now. Final seconds. Odekale, that's just bookkeeping. NC State wins it 65-62. The Wolfpack have won 4 in a row. They get to 500 in conference play. 12 straight wins against Pitt, and the 4-game ACC win streak, something they haven't done since 2018. Final score from Raleigh, the Wolfpack 65, Pitt 62. Next up for NC State, a Wednesday tilt at Notre Dame. We send it to the studio.